If I was starting a crafting YouTube channel from scratch today, these are the 12 things that I would definitely be doing. Hi there, crafty friends. I started the Le Petite Saint Crochet YouTube channel back in 2018, and I've learned a thing or two by making a whole lot of mistakes, and today I'm going to be sharing the 12 things that I would do differently if I was starting a YouTube channel today. One of the most important things that I want you to know is that it isn't too late to start a YouTube channel, because there are rumors out there that say, oh, it's too late to start a YouTube channel, or that's already been done. That's something that I see a lot of crafters who would like to share their love of their crafting and to teach other people what they already know how to do, but they get stuck because they think somebody's already doing that. But guess what? You're not doing it, and you're not bringing your own unique voice to this crafting space. So it isn't being done already because you're not already here. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump right into tip number 1. My very first tip is to do it scared. If you're anything like me, back in 2018, I had a little voice inside my head that told me that this was a ridiculous idea. Who was I to want to start a YouTube channel? I am middle-aged. I don't know anything about video editing, video creating, online marketing. Online marketing. I didn't know anything about how to run a YouTube channel. I also held this belief that my brain wasn't wired for techie type things, that somehow my brain wasn't able to learn those new skills. And I'm here to tell you that I didn't know how to do any of those things back in 2018, and now I do. It's a skill that you can learn, just like when you learned your crafting skill. I'm a crocheter and a knitter, and at one point I didn't know how to crochet and knit, but I learned little by little, and that's what you can do with YouTube. You will learn little by little, and you'll get better and better at it. So I want you to know that you can do this. Yes, you can do this. It's just going to take learning new things. One of the best resources for starting a YouTube channel is actually today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform for creative-minded people. You can learn anything from the comforts of your own home, which I love. One of my favorite classes is by Ali Abdal called YouTube for Beginners: How to Start and Grow Your YouTube Channel. Ali has grown a huge YouTube channel, and he is so generous with sharing his knowledge for how to do it with anyone who wants to learn. In this 27-part class, you will learn everything you need to start making your first videos. And the best part is that you can get Skillshare for free. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description box below will get a 1-month free trial, which is plenty of time to go through Ollie's amazing class. But make sure to explore all that Skillshare has to offer. I've personally taken many Skillshare classes in so many different areas like crochet, knitting, watercolor drawing, and photography, just to name a few. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and let's get on to tip number 2. One mistake that I made in the beginning was not niching down. That is a very important thing, especially when you are starting your very own YouTube channel. You need to create a very specific niche. You want people, when they come to your channel, to know exactly what your channel is all about. I want you to take a look at some of your favorite YouTube channels, and they are likely very niched down. One of my favorite crafting YouTubers is Tony from TL Yarn Crafts, and immediately when you look at her homepage, you know exactly what she is all about. Number 1, her name says Yarn Crafts. Number 2, everything says crochet. You know that she loves yarn, she loves crochet, and she's going to teach you how to make all of these beautiful patterns that she designs. Sometimes when you're first starting, you just want to make videos that everyone is going to like. But the problem with that is when a new person comes to a channel, they want to know within a couple of seconds, what are you all about? And that's why I want you to really niche down. Tip number 3 is to show your face. And I know how hard this is because my very first videos are of me just doing a tutorial, and I didn't want anybody to see my face at all. And that's a really big mistake on YouTube, because this. People want to connect with people. I know that there are a lot of channels out there that they only do tutorials and you only see their hands and the projects that they're making. And yes, that is a way to have a YouTube channel. And if you are really against showing your face, you can do it that way. And even if you are just going to do tutorials and your hands are going to be shown most of the time, people still want to see your face. So you can do your introductions with looking into the camera and letting people know that, hey, I'm a human being, I'm here. So I know that it's scary, and sometimes we think that to be on YouTube, you have to be 25 and a size 2 and you need to look a certain way, and that's just not true. Look around YouTube and there are people of every different race, creed, size, gender, everything. It doesn't matter what you look like. What matters is that personal connection. I know that it's awkward in the beginning, but over time it will become more comfortable and it will really help your channel a lot. My next tip is to choose the name of your channel wisely. And this is a mistake that I made big time. Now, I personally love the name of my channel, Le Petit Saint Crochet, but it has come with a lot of regret for me because number one, I was thinking more about what do I like? What is the name of a channel that means a lot to me? And Le Petit Saint Crochet is very personally meaningful to me, but I wasn't taking into consideration how it would affect my channel. Number one, I don't speak French, and every once in a while, people will comment on my channel, hey, you're not pronouncing that right, and they are completely right. I am not pronouncing the name of my channel correctly. Number two, it is hard for English speakers to spell, and my audience is primarily based in the United States, some in Canada, and in England. So we're all English speakers, and it is hard for us to spell the name. Number three, it's also been confusing for people when they come to my channel because they automatically assume that it will be a French-speaking channel, and they're surprised when English comes out of my mouth. And the last thing you really want to do is make it difficult for your audience to find you. You want the name of your channel to be something that is easy to remember, easy to spell, and that they will know exactly what you're about with the name of your channel. Tip number 5 is to create content buckets. Now that you have your niche, and that would be your craft of choice, now you're going to want to get even more specific about the types of content you are going to create. So for example, these are my content buckets. I do crochet, I do knitting, amigurumi, granny squares, and running a handmade business. So I have 5 areas that I will create content about. I learned about this concept from Jenna Kutcher from the Gold Digger podcast. She illustrated this point like this. If you were to pick up a magazine, say it's your very favorite magazine, and you opened it up and it was the same kind of content throughout the entire magazine, it would probably be kind of boring. You want the magazine to have editorial pieces. You might want it to have a pattern or a tutorial in there. You might want an interview. You would see some advertising. There would be a lot of different types of content in that magazine that is about one thing. And that's the way you need to look at your YouTube channel. Think about the different specific areas that you can create content about, and that will give you a lot of ideas, and you won't be led astray and just make some random video. If you look at somebody like Tony from TL Yarn Crafts again, you're not going to ever find a video about how to plunge a toilet on her channel because her channel is about crocheting. You can look and see on her channel that there are different content buckets. She does tutorials, she does yarn reviews, she even has some vlog style videos within as well. But you're not going to see some random video about a completely off topic subject. So make sure to try to keep your videos within your niche and in those content buckets. Now that you have niched down, you're showing your face on the video camera, and you have created your content buckets, is to really think about how often can you realistically publish a video onto YouTube. Consistency is rewarded on YouTube. You want to make sure that you commit to a schedule that you can keep. For example, when I started my channel in 2018, I was just throwing out videos whenever I had the time and whenever I felt like it. And my channel shows that I wasn't doing too great back in 2018. Then in January of 2019, I committed to making one video a week. Now, I knew that it would be better to do a little bit more if I could do 2 videos a week, but I was realistic with myself and I knew that that was not something that I would be able to stick with. So I have been doing 1 video a week for the most part. There have been weeks that I've had to take off, but I try to stick to 1 video a week. One of my favorite YouTubers is Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. She started her YouTube channel several years ago and she has grown it into an empire that it is today. But Lisa committed to 2 videos per week. That's when I think she only had 4 children at the time and they were all little bitty. She has 7 children now and she has maintained that 2 video a week schedule. Now, just to be fair, Lisa has hired people that help her now, but in the beginning, when she was just starting, she was doing 2 videos a week, and that blows my mind away sometimes that she was able to do it, but she committed to it. She worked late into the nights because she made that commitment to herself. Make sure to wait until the end of the video. My final tip is going to be about resources. I've got a lot of great resources for you that I think you will really like that has to do with how to grow your YouTube channel. Tip number 7 is to create videos with your audience in mind. In the beginning of my channel, I was making videos that I was interested in. The focus was on what I wanted rather than what my audience wanted. Over time, I began to see that YouTube really is a service provider to your audience. And when I made that switch is when YouTube got a lot more fun for me, but also it felt good to know that I was providing something for someone else. I was helping them in their crafting journey. So when you are creating videos and you're coming up with ideas, try to keep the audience in mind. Make videos that will be a benefit and a service to others. That's how you're going to attract that audience that wants to watch your videos. The next tip is to focus on your titles and thumbnails. This is something that I didn't do a great job of at the beginning. And one of the best resources that I have for you is Canva. Make sure to get your free Canva account, and up in the search bar when you go to create a new project, just put in YouTube thumbnail. And what you want to do is look over on the left hand side and you're going to see templates. So you don't have to start these from scratch. You can actually go into Canva and find all of these pre-designed YouTube thumbnails, and they are really gorgeous, and you're going to find so many of them. You don't have to think about what font to use, what colors to use. It's already in there for you. But you can also customize all of that so that if you like a certain color or you want a certain color, you can easily change it in Canva. So make sure to check out that resource. But the other resource that I have for titles is a new email newsletter that I've been subscribing to called Creator Hooks. This one is really a game changer because it's just a free email newsletter, and you're going to find a link for it in the description box below. But one of the things that Jake from Creator Hooks does is that he highlights different YouTube videos and shows you why the title is so effective, and then he breaks it down further to show you how you can customize it for your own YouTube videos. He also likes to show a flop of the week, and those are always really fun because he shows why this title didn't work. And I really find that this newsletter is so valuable to me right now. Make sure to sign up for it. It comes out every Monday. Tip number 9 is to batch videos. This is a mistake that I made early on, and it has been one that has made it very difficult to correct as I've gone forward. If I was starting a YouTube channel today, I would batch a few videos, maybe 3 or 4 videos before I ever published number 1. And here is why. In the beginning, it can be hard to be totally consistent to that commitment that you made to yourself. And by batching a handful of videos, you are giving yourself a buffer. So for example, if you get sick, if a family member gets sick, maybe you go on vacation, you're able to take a little bit of time off because you have built in a buffer. I am in the position where I do a video every single week and I publish it that week. And my goal is to eventually get some batched videos. That way I can build in a little bit of a buffer for when life happens, because life is going to happen. We all know that. Do that from the very beginning. You're going to save yourself a lot of headache and frustration. The next tip is to not worry about views and analytics. This this is something that I spent a lot of time in the beginning worrying needlessly about. One of the things that you need to know when you're starting a YouTube channel from scratch is that YouTube is learning as much about you as you are learning about YouTube. And this is going to take time for YouTube to find the correct audience for you. It's learning what your niche is. It's learning all of these different things about you, the demographics of your audience. There are a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes, and you really don't need to worry about it in the beginning. As you continue to grow, it will be important for you to begin looking at your analytics because there are a lot of good things that the analytics can tell you and will help you to create better videos. But in the beginning, don't stress yourself out. Just keep your head down and get to work. Tip number 11 is to make the very best YouTube videos you can. And you may be wondering, how am I supposed to do that? One of the best ways for you to be able to do that is to become a student of YouTube. Make sure that you're not just watching YouTube for your own entertainment, or sometimes you hear people who are YouTube creators that say, I don't really watch YouTube. Well, that's going to be a terrible disservice to yourself because you need to start seeing what other people are doing, and not just in your niche, but across the board. Look and study successful YouTube channels to see what they're doing that makes their videos so engaging and makes people want to come back to them again and again and again. Become a student. Learn YouTube just like you learned how to do your very own craft, whether it's crocheting or knitting or painting or drawing. Think about how you spent that time and you learned and you watched what other people were doing. That's exactly what you need to do to learn how to make great YouTube videos. And I actually think that's one of the reasons why crafters do quite well on YouTube, is that we aren't afraid to learn new things. Tip number 12 is to find encouraging resources, and I'm going to share some of my favorites with you right here. First of all, make sure to get your 30-day free trial of Skillshare. There are so many wonderful classes on Skillshare that will help you, that will teach you something, and will keep you encouraged on your YouTube journey. Another resource that is fantastic is the YouTube Success Academy by Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. We talked about her earlier when we talked about commitment. She has a wonderful course that I took that is particularly good for beginners. So if you're just starting out on your YouTube journey, make sure to check the link in the description box below to find out more about Lisa's course. It really is wonderful, and I'm so glad that I took it at the beginning of my journey. It's one of the most affordable YouTube courses out there, and I really have gotten so much out of it. And I'm still active in the private Facebook group that we have for all of the students. It's really a great resource. I highly recommend it. Another great resource is the book, The YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves. This is a fantastic book if you want to get down into the nitty-gritty of YouTube and learn how to make great videos, but also learn the history behind YouTube, which is actually pretty fascinating. It's a fairly quick read, but it is packed full of really, really good information, and Daryl Eves knows what he's talking about. The next resource that I love is Erica Vieira's podcast. In Erica's podcast, she interviews women YouTubers, and it is fascinating. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to her podcast right now. It is so amazing. Another resource she has is her Zero to Influence Bootcamp. I'm actually enrolled in that course right now. I cannot recommend it more. This course is really better for those of you who already have an established YouTube channel and you're ready to take it to the next level. Erica is a genius at finding out what people's secret sauce is, and she's really good about helping you create a YouTube channel that you love, but that loves you back. So make sure to check the link in the description box below to get on her wait list if that's something that you're interested in. But the other great YouTube channel that I have recently discovered is Vanessa Lau. She has some absolutely packed full of wonderful information videos on her channel. So make sure to check the link in the description box below as well for her channel. I know that was a lot of information, but I hope you're feeling encouraged and excited to start your very own YouTube channel. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, especially if you would like to see more handmade business topics. But I hope you all stay safe out there and happy stitching.